Good evening, and welcome to another segment of the New Black Leadership Coalition here live at Channel 21 CAN Television, Chicago Cable Access. We are here live, the New Black Leadership Coalition, and let me just tell the people who are watching and viewing by Facebook, via Facebook, you can call 312-738-1060. If you would like to call in, that's 312-738-1060. I just decided to give you the number early, just in case you want to call in. My name is Gregory Sang. I am one of the co-founders of the New Black Leadership and the co-host for this show today. And I am always very, very thankful. I am honored and really blessed by the best to have this opportunity to speak with you all, in your homes, wherever you are, in your cars, etc. And it's really good to feel the spirit of giving when you come on shows like this, because there's a lot of rhetoric that's out here, and it doesn't really seem to be fixing any of the problems out here. There's folks who claim to be leaders, claim to be spokespersons, claim to be authoritarians, etc. But it seems to be an increase, unfortunately, with many challenges that really require leadership with integrity, leadership that really care about human suffering, and etc. So I think, we as people, we're spiritual. Some of us are not as politically savvy as we need to be, and we're not as spiritually grounded as we should be. And so there's an emotional aspect to it. And so the New Black Leadership is not to replace, but it is to put forth the energy and the necessary dedication and the real efforts of solving some of the problems. But the work that we have to do right now, and that work is not going to distract us from the work that we have vision to do. We have a lot of vision. As a matter of fact, I want to read to some of you all who are just joining us. And if you're not familiar with the New Black Leadership Coalition, it's a community-based coalition. The mission of the New Black Leadership is to create a viable working coalition between a new untapped group of community leaders within the black community. Our mission is to serve the cause of empowerment of the black community throughout Chicagoland and abroad. We will serve as advocates for our community in all areas of vital importance to the development of the community and family. We will seek to transmit, communicate, and educate the community in the requirements of self-determination and self-development. Frederick Douglass said this, and I know there are many quotes. I think it's one that's more famous than any other quote, and that is, "Power concedes nothing without a demand. It never did, and it never will." Power concedes nothing without a demand. It never did, and it never will. Another quote from Frederick Douglass: "It is time, if there's no struggle, there is no progress. If there is no struggle, there is no progress." Let me give you one more. It's easier, and this one right here, I really want you to call me, because I want to talk about this one. Once you hear this one, you that's watching via Facebook or Channel 21 or streaming live on cantelevision.org, it's easier to build strong children than to repair broken men. It's easier to build strong children than repair broken men. How many of you all agree with that? How many of you all disagree with that? And do you understand that quote by Frederick Douglass? Do you really understand the quote, power concedes nothing without a demand? It never did and it never will. That's for everything that's going on in our life. It must be a demand. We have to demand more from ourselves. We must demand more from ourselves. And we have become complacent. We become complacent. And so it's the blame game. And we haven't utilized the power that we have because we don't go with those type of demands. We have to demand. You know, my mom, your mother, your father, sometimes they gave us a demand. You might call it directive now, but they demand, I demand you to do this, to do that. We got to demand people to do this or to do that, or they won't do it. We got to first, though, before we talk about people and government, we got to demand something first in ourselves. We got to demand more in ourselves. I mean, that's the missing link. We're not demanding more in ourselves. I talked to a group of students today doing Real Men Read at Pullman Elementary School. And I want to thank Miss Candace Brooks, great second grade teacher, and Principal Jay, and the whole staff there. But I really want to thank those children for, and I went, you know, visiting this school, and I mentioned to them that they were the new black leadership. I told them, you all are the new black leadership to those babies. And I'm putting that out there. We are the new black leadership. If you are viewing this, you are the new black leadership. You say black leadership, and I think, I'm sure people of other ethnicities and races are like, oh, this is just for them. No. If you are about helping, we just identifying ourselves because there's been a breakdown in something that happened to us as a people. And you all are familiar with people being inferior and people behaving as though they have low self-esteem, etc. And you know there's something gravely wrong because many other folks outside of our community, they've studied well, and they know that, wow, folks with this type of history, this great of a people, how could they just let Inglewood go down? How could they just let Roseland go down? How could they not at all take back their community? How could they just allow crime to just run rampant in their community? How could they just let poverty just keep going on and on? How could they not pull together as a family and bring down the divorce rate? How could they just let domestic violence keep increasing? How could they let the dropout rate keep going up? How could they not be concerned about the graduation rate? How could they not be concerned about children cannot go to the parks and play and have fun? How could they not be concerned about us eating more healthy? How could they not be concerned about a number of things if, in fact, they are enlightened, they are connected to the source? See, if we truly believe that, and you are a leader, that's why I have to say this to all of my Christian brothers and sisters, or Baptists, or whatever you refer to, and Muslims. Jesus, you know, and this is not a religious conversation. I don't know what religious is. It just means way of life. But Jesus said, for greater works that I do, ye shall do greater works. meaning that we got the same juice, the same power to solve problems in our lives. But we dealing with everything emotionally. We don't want to organize to change the complexity of our homes, our block, our community. So we cannot continue to look for others. So the new black leadership, folks, we do have some core values that I want to share with you. And I want to put up here for those who are interested in supporting this movement, this coalition. I'm going to put up here how you can reach us via Facebook. But if you check, and you'll hear about it soon, our website should be up within the next few days. And you'll be able to go on the website and access a lot of information, current events, different activities, and up-and-coming events, etc. And just a plethora of information that will be, I believe, will be very useful for you. So I'm going to put that up in a few minutes. But I just wanted to just go over just for a few minutes so you'll know that we're really serious. We're not just talking. We are really organizing. We're not mad. We're not mad at anybody. And if we sound like we mad, we're not. We're disappointed. We're very disappointed. And everyone that care and that's really paying attention, I would think that you would be disappointed. But don't just be disappointed and stay on the sideline. So we have developed a very strong spectrum of leaders, individuals who care and who want to see positive, constructive change that will benefit us politically, economically, spiritually, educationally, in every category. But we cannot do that if we allow the system as it operates and those who are operating this who should be working on our behalf. That is not the case. There are some, and I have to give credit to those that have decided to boldly challenge decisions by really making sure that it really serves the interests of poor people. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. And you shouldn't care who's not going to like you, etc. We got to sacrifice. We got to sacrifice. So let me just read some of the core values. We believe that sound spiritual and cultural morality serves as the basis of integrity and character. We believe the core values of our African, Asiatic ancestors must be the measurement and standard of values within the black community. We further believe that all leadership must be held accountable to these values and principles. If you notice, values and principles, not values and personality, but values and principle. We espouse the natural and divine responsibility of black men and women within a traditional family structure. We further believe that we must resist the weakening of these rights by the dominant society. So we believe in family. We believe in raising our children. We believe in giving back. Giving back. I mean, you know what? And you all tell me this. Read the majority of the posts that you see on Facebook. Read even the stuff that you read on Twitter. But on Facebook, it's doom and gloom. Primarily, it's doom and gloom. I mean, what I read. And so, but it don't have to be this way. What's missing is us working together in concert, realizing that we have one mission, one goal. But we cannot get there if you continue to sit on the sideline. You got to get up off. And you might think that I'm doing this in my little silo. There's nothing wrong if you at a church and you on a board, and or you just go and you feel like you paying your tithings and etc. But then you get on the block and you don't invest in the block or where we live at. That's a little backwards. That's a little backwards. 312-738-1060. 312-738-1060. What do you think we need to do as a group of individuals who continue to see the numbers increase, the negative numbers? The negative numbers. And I see all kind of surveys now on Facebook. I mean, some of the most strangest questions people are asking on Facebook. So some of it, you know, I find a little humorous. And then I say we use a lot of energy to put a survey regarding, do you think it's all right if you have more than one girlfriend or boyfriend, and should you tell them? Like, is that really going to help the community? No. Is that really funny? Not really. Is it dangerous? Yes. So we got to really, you know, reassess why we so preoccupied with mess. I mean, we really are preoccupied with a little mess. So as leaders, and don't you think that you're not a leader? Please do not think. I want to give all of those folks who are standing up, former Senate President Emil Jones. I want to send a shout out to you. I want to send one out to Alderman Anthony Beale on this. I do. Other things Anthony has done. I want to commend others who decided, and the students and community activists that have taken a stand regarding Chicago State. That's a prototype or a teachable moment, that model of what has been happening there. And then we unfortunately go along to get along, and we won't reprimand, we won't check, we won't pull to the side our brother, our friend, our whoever, and say, unfortunately, this thing has not been working. This university, this organization, this project is not going well under your leadership. Actually, it's about to close. It's about to close. And then they decide, you know, to play, you know, and I really don't like to say this, the race card, because I don't want to give people any ammunition when we are fighting amongst ourselves. But there's a troubleshooter, a crisis manager like Paul Vallis, and all of a sudden the Congos come out, the dashikis come out. Look, the Kentacloths come out. Where's the dashikis, the Congos, the bongos, the dashikis, the afros, the black power when it comes to the cartilage that's going on in our community? Where is that? Why are we not organized and getting together, not for another press conference, but to work on behalf of dealing with violence and crime. But yet, we get together and run up there sweating to go and say, this is a black university and we need a black president. I concur. We should. But if you cared, then you should have gone to your brother or your sister and said, you got to go because things ain't going well under your leadership, with your leadership. But no one said a thing. All of a sudden, they came out of the woodworks. I mean, the woodworks, I understand. But here's the deal. Here's the deal. We have to not be hypocrites. Don't contradict ourselves. That's why the new black leadership, shockingly to many folks out there, took a stand. Some of our members showed up. Some of our members worked for Chicago State. A couple of them. Three of them were there. But Professor Kelly Harris and Professor Kim Delaney, powerful professors, both of them brilliant. They're trying to do the right thing. One of our co-founders spoke very eloquent and made strong points because now folks would say, are you all siding with a white man? Nope, we siding with right. Color ain't got nothing to do with what's right. And that's what we got to stop. I think sometimes we allow for people to put us in that cheap category. I wouldn't care if they psychedelic. I wouldn't care if they white, black, blue, brown. Yes, I would love to see a qualified black man or woman anywhere doing whatever with integrity, with professionalism, with experience, and with love and dedication. But if not, you are as more destructive as anybody else when you are doing what you're doing for self-interest. And that's why the new black leadership challenged the previous president. Love him. I love him. You say you love him? Yeah, I ain't got nothing, I don't hate him. I said something about Cliff Kelly. Cliff Kelly is a friend of mine, my brother. On WVON, love Cliff. Love him. When we see each other, we always embrace. But I told Cliff, man, Cliff, I've been listening to you, man, and you make me want to throw up sometimes because you say everybody is wonderful. Everybody is great. No, they not. Not in the way they've been behaving. You give them a pass when you do that. Sometimes you got to check them, and now they can correct themselves, and then they can become wonderful. But you got to be balanced, because the more you allow people on these shows, and when they get on there, you just throw some little softball questions to them or a softball conversation. That does us a disservice. I mean, in a relationship, you know how a relationship works. Sometimes we get upset, men, when women challenge us and vice versa, but men, our ego or whatever, our false pride, but sometimes they have to ask us some tough questions and we have to answer them, and vice versa. But if we cannot stand the heat, then get your butt out the kitchen. And that's what we're talking about when it comes to leadership. If you cannot stand the heat, then get out the kitchen. Take what you've already made. I didn't say earned. Take whatever you got already and relax and maybe mentor someone. Be an advisor. Sit down. Sit down. We need change because unfortunately, we have too many people out in front who are not willing to do the necessary work to help our community become healthier. And that's the fact. So, folks, I'm going to put this up real quick. The new Black Leadership on the screen right here. You all can't see it on Facebook, and I hope you all can see it. I think I got to zoom down a little bit, but we don't have nothing but a couple of minutes left. And we'll be back. This show is taking a break. This show is, only this one, until July. We'll be back during the month of July. The new Black Leadership is taking a little break, a little hiatus for Chicago Can Television, Channel 21. But we'll be back next Monday at Intellectual Radio on Monday nights at 7 o'clock. So, again, it is always an honor and always a pleasure. And you're going to hear a lot. And so don't forget, we're going to have information on our website. And we're talking about possibly another week, Mike. Another week or 2 weeks. How long? At least 2 weeks. At least 2 weeks we'll be in business, and so that you can follow many of the things that we're doing. It's just important that you know that, and it's also important that you stay in contact. You guys can reach me on Facebook, inbox me if you have any questions, any concerns. But I'm so glad that you all tuned in tonight. And we got to just be family, and we got to have these conversations. Don't be mad. Don't be mad, because I ain't mad at you. I'm just disappointed that some of you all continue to go in these little back rooms, cut these little back room deals, and you don't think about the people. It's time for all of that self-interest to stop. Serve the people. And some of you all are pastors and reverends, and you know better. Well, you should know better. And we all got to do better. I said we all got to do better. Can't put it all on them. Pastors, them are only human people. But folks, if we don't talk to them, straight talk to them, butt naked truth, real talk, then none of us could get any better. None of us could grow. So we cannot be so thin-skinned that we cannot take constructive criticism. That the new Black Leadership respects our elders, but we sick and tired, like Fannie Lou Hamer said, of being sick and tired of you all disregarding, disrespecting the movement and what's in the best interest for our community. So anyway, thank you all very, very much. I am leaving the Can Television air, and I'm just going to stay on for a couple minutes, just 2 minutes, live on Facebook.